Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to dive into such a topic that will be both fascinating and different. Whether you are a literature enthusiast or you are preparing for your master's or even you are in your bachelor's degree in English literature or just you are preparing for any English literature exam, this topic was going to give you some insights that is definitely going to help you in your literature journey. So today's topic was about the difference between British literature and American literature. So we'll learn in this video about how the tradition has evolved and how learning about the difference between these two different literature was going to help you to do better in your exam. So without much delay, let's start our today's video on the difference between British literature and American literature. So before knowing about any kind of details, first remember that literature is shaped by history, politics and culture. While British literature has a long continuous history that spans from medieval times, American literature is relatively young that was shaped by colonization, independence and social changes. So understanding about these differences helps in comparative analysis and answering exam questions effectively. So now let's understand about the difference between British literature and American literature starting from its historical context. British literature has its roots deep in history, starting from the medieval period through the Renaissance, then through the Victorian times and finally into modernism and postmodernism, the world or the period we are living now. So think of it as a reflection of a society that was shaped by a long, complex history of monarchy, empire, and social hierarchy. You have also authors like Chaucer, Shakespeare, Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, Joe Turner, Mary Wollstonecraft, and many more who captured the nuances of their time. What is the nuances that was prevalent at their period of time? Now let's contrast that with American literature, which emerged just after the colonization. So early American writers, they were kind of influenced by European traditions, yet they quickly developed a unique voice that emphasized about individualism, the frontier spirit, and also most importantly about democratic ideals. If we take account of some authors like Mark Twain, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Toni Morrison, among others, they bring out these kind of themes that was related to American literature in their work. And here an exam tip for you. Focus on how historical events that shaped these literary styles, if you're writing any lengthier type of questions or if you're just reading and going through British literature and American literature separately. Now, moving on to themes of British literature and American literature. First, if we talk about British literature often explores about the issues of social class, tradition, and complexities of the hierarchical society. For instance, if we take Jane Austen's novels, they clearly satirizes the class distinction of her time. In contrast, American literature, it frequently centers around the themes of individual freedom, the pursuit of American dream, and the tension between man and nature or society. So this is evident in the works of authors like Mark Twain, where the rugged spirit of the frontier is a recurring motif in every work of his. So for your exams, just remember when comparing the text of each literature, highlight how these cultural themes mirror the society and historical context of each literary tradition. Also, this is going to help you when you are going to read about the individual works or authors and their works related to that particular literature. Now, let's look at the language and the style of both the literature. So, British literature tends to feature a more formal tone that elaborate sentence structure and a vocabulary that reflects its long historical evolution, like how the vocabulary evoluted. Okay, so you might notice the use of words like color, theater that carry a certain elegance, while American literature is generally more direct and conversational. So there is an emphasis on clarity and straightforwardness that we'll definitely find in American literature, which was a reflection of its democratic roots. So spelling and idiomatic expression, they can also differ in American literature. For example, color. In British literature, if we write the word color, the spelling will be like COLOUR. But in American literature, the spelling will be like COLOR. So spelling and idiomatic expression can also differ in both British literature and also in American literature. So it's important to know about the language and the style to remember some particular works of each period or each literature. So now, as you have understood or have an general idea about the historical context of each the literature and how it differs, about the themes, about its language and style, let's now focus on highlight some key authors and their works to remember each literature better. Okay, so in British literature, we have Shakespeare with his plays that set the foundation of the dramatic storytelling. Also, if we look at the works of Austen's novels, her insightful novels critique societal norms, while Charles Dickens, whose works are rich with social commentary. On the other hand, on the American side, authors like Mark Twain, they offer a unique blend of humor and critique of societal issues. For example, F. Scott Fitzgerald captures the allure and disillusionment of jazz age in most of his work. And also, Toni Morrison, who powerfully explores race and identity that was prevalent in America in most of her works. So you can incorporate these authors and their important works while you are reading some particular literature. To make it easier, try to use visual aids like book covers or author portraits during your revision, so that it can help you to cement these differences in your mind for a longer period of time. Now, let's talk about the comparative analysis and the exam strategies that you should follow while reading any kind of literature, not just about British literature or American literature, but also about any kind of literature. You can follow this type of analysis and strategies. So, first, how do you use all this information in an exam? It's a question that often arises in our mind. So one effective strategy is to create a simple comparison chart or Venn diagram or mind map, whatever suits you, that lays out the difference and similarities between in any literature. Okay, as in our video, we are talking about British and American literature. You can use any kind of strategy, this particular strategy, like to create a simple comparison chart or any kind of mind map or Venn diagram, whatever suits you, to lay out the difference and the similarities between British and American literature. Now, note about the historical influence, the historical context, about themes, language, and key figures side by side. When faced with an exam question that asks you to compare literary traditions, start by contextualizing the historical background if you're a student of a master's or a bachelor's of English literature, then you must have been facing a long type of questions where you have to answer some analysis type of question, critical analysis. So this, whenever you face this kind of question in exam that asks you to compare literary tradition, start by contextualizing about the historical background. Then discuss about the thematic and stylistic differences using some examples from both the tradition. Then this structured approach was not only going to impress your examiners if you're writing lengthier type of question, but also if you're only focusing on MCQs for our competitive exams of English literature, then it's going to help you to organize your thoughts clearly so that you can very clearly proceed further, and also you can remember about these kind of context, like sometimes in exam we are facing questions like lengthier type of question that was based on about the historical context of particular literature or a particular period from a particular literature. So this structured approach was going to help you to organize your thoughts clearly. So, just to make things easier for you, if you are preparing for exams or struggling to understand about British literature, as most students face difficulty while covering all the details of British literature, do not worry. I have got you covered already. I have created a dedicated British literature series where each literary period is organized with a clear historical context, major writers, key themes, and language style, and that to be chronologically. So this structured approach was definitely going to help you to build a strong conceptual understanding and to make literary analysis much more easier. Whether you are studying for UGC NET, GATE, or any other English literature exam, this series will give you the clarity that you need to know. So to recap, our British literature was deeply rooted in long historical tradition. It was marked by social hierarchies, and it also was, we can see, an enrichment of language in British literature. While American literature focuses on individualism, it focuses on clarity, and definitely the main focus was of American literature was on spirit of innovation. So, understanding about the in-depth concept of both the literature, it was going to add more knowledge and more clarity. You are going to get more clarity while you will be reading about both the literature and all the works related to the literature. So, if you are a student of master's degree or bachelor's degree of English literature, then I'm sure these concepts regarding both the literatures has given you a great clarity about what British literature, about what American literature was, and what the difference between them. And also, if you're a student who was facing any kind of competitive exams of English literature, then if you have the concept clarity regarding any kind of literature, you can definitely tackle any kind of questions that may come in your exam. So that's it for today. If you all like today's video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you think that this video was going to be helpful for any of your friends or relatives, then please share this particular video with your friends. And also, you are please feel free to share your comments regarding, share your thoughts regarding this video in the comment section. Also, you can ask me in the comment section what video you want me to post next, so that I'll try to bring that particular video to you about that particular concept. So till then, be safe. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep exploring literature.